The report reflects the consensus of honorable members of the committee. I therefore move that the House pass the bill.
The chairman for the Legislative Committee na Parliament, Honorable Indolo Moiwo Givao, and also been asked in company MP them for agree for make the bill we title the National Commission for Social Action NaCSA Act of 2019 turn law after we be don read one report we in committee together with the NaCSA committee na Parliament join hand for put together Wednesday November 6. This na the same bill we MP them Tuesday November 5 been sent na the Legislative and NaCSA committee them. According to the chairman of the Legislative Committee, Honorable Givao, MP them inside in committee and serve the NaCSA committee been look inside this bill good fasting and do plenty change them for fit the purpose we it for serve.
The following enactments are hereby repealed. A. The National Commission for Social Action Act 2001. B. The National Commission for Social Action Amendment Act 2015.
The new NaCSA Act of 2019, according to the report we Honorable Givao present, don't make way for make NaCSA continue for do in work for term we not go expire as they go continue for take development project them na different part them na the country. This new act same way so don't make way for make the Vice President supervise NaCSA. But this na one area we been be bone na throats for the SLPP party na Parliament. From the time with this bill been first appear at the well, as almost all the MP them kick against this extra power with this act planned for give to the Vice President. But the leader of government business na Parliament, Honorable Sidi Muhammad Tunis, explain why the Vice President for they in charge of NaCSA and project them.
His Excellency the President, retired Brigadier Dr. Julius Madabio, is very much determined to decongest State House by giving substantial responsibilities to the Vice President. This is just another step. His Excellency is moving the office of the Vice President from the traditional role of a mere support staff to a more robust role by handing over key agencies to the office of the Vice President, considering the strategic role that the Vice President has been playing in the Interministerial Committee, RMC, on local government and decentralization, the disaster platform, the interagency platform for social protection, and the Millennium Challenge Coordinating Unit. His Excellency has decided to add NaCSA to his range of supervision portfolio.
But not to the SLPP no more been pushed for make the Vice President take charge of NaCSA as the Chief Whip of the main opposition APC self been support this.
If the President thinks that certain of his duties must be assigned to the office of the Vice President, I don't think we have a reason to question such an arrangement. We are here to make laws that are supposed to stand the test of time. If the Chief Executive so thinks that he cannot handle all of this because of the fact that the Vice President is his Vice President, mind you, he was voted for because it was a ticket of the President and his running mate. In that vein, Mr. Chairman, I want to ask that we leave it at that because it will not change anything in terms of authority, in terms of power, in terms of organization.
That na the Chief Whip of the main opposition, APC party na Parliament, Honorable Hassan ACC. But inside the same APC party, Honorable Lahai Mara, where they represent constituency 42 na Falaba district, not been to this line at all.
The President has supreme executive powers. Supreme executive powers. Why are we limiting the function of the President or neither the Vice President to include it in a bill? There is an internal arrangement, or there will be an internal arrangement between the President and the Vice President, that you take care of these and these ministry, let them be reporting to you. Who can go against that one? Why do we have to place it in the bill in the first place? The minister is here. What is happening with the new direction? We are trying to take the responsibility of the Minister of Economic Planning and transfer it to that of the Vice President. I am not against it. It can be done in another direction. The President will assign some of his responsibilities to the Vice President by saying, you take care of these and these ministries. That will be an internal arrangement. We have to place that one on a bill.
That's the Honorable Lahai Mara. Still inside the APC, Honorable Abdul Karim Kamara, where they represent constituency 59 na Kambia district, self kick against this idea na this act, we say the vice president for dey in charge of NaCSA because he say even when MP them been vote during the committee stage Wednesday, they not been agree for support this provision. So he question why things just change overnight.
Some of these practices we're imbibing now had the tendencies not just to make bad leaders, but to make bad representatives in this house. Yesterday, as MPs, we spent a long time. We deliberated so much, and we had a vote on this matter. And the vote spoke so clearly. Almost all of the members present, 14, only 2 voted that the vice president should oversee NaCSA, and the rest voted that no. And in fact, technically, with the advice of the chairman of the Legislative Council, we did not limit the role to just the president. The word is under the office of the presidency. I think, for clarity's sake, the vice president is also under the office of the presidency. What we were guided was, we've not seen a law in this land, a bill that has ever been taken to this parliament that carries the office of the vice president. If there is one, let the leader, as he has stated, present to this house, and some of us joyfully will join him. As we say, this is a new direction. That doesn't mean we should go new ways with questionable characters.
Still for kick tranga one against this idea, say the vice president for the in charge of NaCSA, na the leader for the NGC party na parliament, Honorable Kanda Yumkela, as he thinks this go reduce the power of the Minister of Planning and Development, as he go give the cow but still hold the rope.
I don't see why NaCSA should be under the vice president in a law. Give the responsibility to the minister to do his job. The president can say, yes, Mr. Vice President, supervise. I was in Nigeria as UN rep, where Atiku was in charge of privatization. He was in charge of federal territory and so on. So the president is free.
You know, we're all intellectuals, as you rightly say. Maybe let's do a teaser. In whom is executive authority vested?
Mr. President. So,
from whom does executive functions and responsibility flow?
Mr. President and his minister.
Bear that in mind in your contribution, please.
Yes. So for that reason, let us not begin to undermine the minister.
As you hear, even the Speaker of Parliament, Honorable Dr. Abbas Chernobundo, no been beer, but for come inside the argument of Honorable Yumkela. But listen how the leader of government business, Honorable Tunis, been fed for respond to this argument.
Mr. Leader of NGC, the Honorable Vice President, apart from NaCSA that you are referring to, has done extremely well with our MCCU. He has done extremely well with our PPP. He has done extremely well with SLETI. So President is simply now saying directly and by law that, Mr. Vice President, I want you to take control, supervise NaCSA. That's it. So, and I don't see us as members of parliament challenging the executive authority of His Excellency the President.
But Honorable Yumkela been coming again for smash the leader of government business in arguments this way.
That argument my friend raised is totally fallacious. There's no way we would reject Mr. President's decision to create an office. We know he has the executive authority. All the other institutions you mentioned, he did not come here with a bill because he has the power already. He has the power already to assign supervisory role any kind to Mr. Vice President, and that's what he has done. If you want a new direction for the office of the Vice President, bring us a bill for the office of the Vice President if you really want to do it for perpetuity. What you're doing now is cafeteria policy. You pick and choose. You do ad hoc. If you want to reform the office of the Vice President from one of just deputizing to one of substantive executive power, bring a bill here. Let us debate the office of the Vice President.
It is very, very clear that you have given from your explanation that the President has the authority to even bring a bill concerning the office of the Vice President. So if the President, in his wisdom, has decided to bring a bill or has decided to authorize to bring a bill to this effect, why should we challenge it? In other words, you are confusing yourself.
No. I am very consistent. You said.
But after all this up and down and tranga fets na mots among MP them on this NaCSA Act of 2019, the Minister of Planning and Development been later moved the motion for make MP them agree for him.
Mr. Speaker, honorable members, I report that the bill entitled the National Commission for Social Action Act 2019, having gone through the committee of the whole House, with amendments.
And although the provision for make the vice president they in charge of NaCSA not been come out inside this act, after all the debates, although MP them been called for them, the same MP them later give them full support to the NaCSA Act of 2019 for turn law, and a so team been go.
All those in favor say aye. Aye. All against say nay. The ayes have it.
The bill entitled...
Me na